If you did not get a chance to hear me talk yesterday, I said some things about how to find our life's purpose. That broadcast, I did it on Facebook. The story I told on that podcast was about how synchronicities and serendipities happen, which attracted the things that I wanted in my life, brought it to me. These are things and people, events, this came together to bring me what I desire, what I was working for, what I needed in my life at the moment. So the law of attraction works like this. When you want something, when you desire something, you affirm what you want. You talk about what you want. You think about what you want. You manifest what you want. As a matter of fact, you attract what you want comes looking for you. So the story I told there was I went to a world produce event at Anaheim. This was a produce expo at Anaheim. And I guess I like to say the exact name of this event. The event is called the Natural Products Expo West in Anaheim. So I went to this event. The way I got the tickets or the pass to get into that event, it's a big testimonial. It's a miracle. People came to me at a different event and started talking about this event, gave me a pass to attend this event. I went to this event and I met people that are necessary in my life, people that I can collaborate with and do events with. So the law of attraction does work. The law of mind does work. Affirmations does work. You affirm what you want, talk about what you want, think about what you want. And that is what events and things begin to happen that bring those things together in an amazing fashion. That's what I talk about. That is what I'm about. That's what I preach. That is what I teach. How you can manifest what you want, even if it's in your work, in your business. A lot of people want to be coaches. A lot of people want to start their YouTube channel. Some people want to start whatever ministry, whatever gift you are here on earth or whatever. This is how you know what your gift is in life. This is how you know what your talent or your gift, what your heart desires, what you are passionate about. What is the one thing when you see somebody else doing it, you say, I can do that. I can do this better. I can do this differently. Those kinds of things are what your heart desire is not far from what your purpose on earth is, what your life's calling on earth is. I heard a saying recently that said, your job pays you enough to keep you from pursuing your dreams. When I heard this, it was so profoundly true. And I'm like, how many people are doing stuff, are working in jobs, regardless of how much you get paid? But deep down inside of you, that is stopping you from your dream. That is stopping you from your passion, from your ultimate calling. I'll say it again. Your current job pays you enough to keep you from pursuing your passion, to keep you from pursuing your dreams. A lot of the times, what keeps people from pursuing their dreams is fear. The fear of what if I don't succeed? What if I fail? What if things don't work out? So fear, self-doubt, self-depreciation, which comes a lot from our self-talk. But see, fear manifests in a lot of ways. It manifests in a lot of forms and fashion, and it coats itself in different forms, right? So people make excuses. This is the reason why I'm not doing this. This is the reason. But deep down inside of you is fear. You're afraid. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if my friends laugh at me? What if my family laughs at me? What if I don't succeed? What if? It's always about the what if. Your mindset should be, what if you succeed? What if you make it? What if you are successful in this adventure of an endeavor? What if things work out in the best for you? What if it really pays off for you? So when you start asking those kinds of positive questions or positive mindset shift questions, it shifts your energy. It shifts the way you think. It shifts the way you start seeing things that you never even thought was there. You start realizing things that was not even there at all. Okay, quick example. I went to a Starbucks this morning. I parked my car. There was 2 spots where I could park. I chose parking at this end parking spot. When I was leaving Starbucks, guess what car was parked next to me? The car that was parked next to me was a beautiful white Rolls Royce coupe. A Rolls Royce was parked next to me. That is how the universe speaks to you. What you desire will come to you. There's a reason why a Rolls Royce was parked next to me. The car of my desire, the car of my dream is a Rolls Royce in the white category, right? So this car was parked next to me. The universe speaks to us in different ways. What I'm saying is, if my mind or if my thoughts and desire was not on a Rolls Royce, I would not even have noticed that a Rolls Royce was parked next to me. How many times do we walk around all day and what we desire is right in front of us? The universe is putting it, you see it, is right in front of you, it's just almost poking you in the face or in the eye, but we still don't see it because you are not constantly thinking about what you want. Your mindset is not on what you want. You are distracted by all the distractions in life, things like the traffic, the things that didn't go right at work, the person that looked at you sideways, the person that said a bad word to you. We're just distracted by things that are not what we want. So part of manifesting is put your mind on what you want. Focus on what you desire. Put your energy on what you desire. Think about it morning, noon, night. Morning, noon, night. And a common practice about manifestation is you write down on paper what it is that your goals, what it is. Your goals are basically what you desire. You write down in the morning, you write it down at night before you go to bed. Take a look at that goal all day long. The more you look at it, the more you think about it, the better. It's a good practice to write it down on a index card, on a small card that can fit into your pocket, or you can put it as a screensaver on your phone, even better. There are programs now that you can put stuff on your phone as a wallpaper. You want to see this thing all the time, even when, you are in a totally different environment. But the fact that you keep coming to your goals, what you desire, it activates the way the universe works. It activates things, the force field, energy, that things start coming to you from nowhere. Things that happening from nowhere is like magic. It's like magic. Okay, so the foundation of my talk is you want to start with figuring out what your life's purpose is. Once you figure out what your life's purpose is, which I've showed you guys how to find out what your life's purpose. But I'm actually talking about it. There's a series I'm talking about. I started talking about it 2 weeks ago on Facebook. There are 4 steps to figure out what your life purpose is. The 4 steps are limitless wishing, wishful imagination, wishful biography, or basically creating this image of this person that you desire to be like. What were their trials? What was their experiences and all that? Then number 4 is having a mentor, someone that has done what you already want to do, and you creating the image of that person, not just image. You know what that person has. You know what you desire. Somebody that has done that, then you model yourself according to that person's journey or lifestyle. Because they say you model success. If someone is successful, there's a reason why they are successful. They've laid the tracks for success for you. So you follow those tracks, you will be successful. So it's those 4 things: limitless wishing, wishful imagination, wishful biography, and mentor. All those 4 parts is a whole teaching of its own. It's a whole process. So my goal is to help people, 1, be, do, have. to help people become their ultimate self, to help you become what it is you desire for yourself. I cannot do anything for you. I cannot make you do anything. You have to do it. One of my mentors will say, you have to do your own push-ups by yourself. I can do your push-ups for you. If I do push-ups, I'm going to get the benefit. My body's going to form. It's going to be good, healthy. But if you do your push-ups by yourself, you see the benefit. That's how I can only shine the light in dark places. I can only give you ideas. There's nothing an idea cannot solve. There's no problem an idea cannot solve. There's no problem an idea cannot fix. Everything we need is an idea. Once you have the information to do anything, definitely you put it into practice, you will break through, you will succeed. Okay, I just wanted to drop a nugget this morning to help you through your day, to encourage you to add to the knowledge that you have. When you are open to receive, then the information that comes in will make sense. When you're closed-minded and formed your opinion about everything in life, it's practically impossible for anything else to come in. So you want to be open, you want to receive good information, good advice, good words. When you hear good words, you know. When you hear good information, you know. But the most important thing is action. Implementing what you heard is very vital. You not wait for all the lights to be green before you leave your house, and all the lights will turn green as you go. Each light turns green, you go. Each turns green, you go. But if you're sitting down, waiting for the whole situation to be perfect, you will not make strides. You will not get things done. You will just be a dreamer, a procrastinator. Like somebody said, affirmations without action is delusion. Affirmation without action is delusion. Affirmations work with action. You got to affirm what you want, and you got to practice and put things into action. You got to take action in the doing, in the action. And act, motion, is where everything comes together. So keep doing, keep talking, keep affirming, keep dreaming, keep thinking in the positive about what you want. Keep your mind on what you want. Manifest what you want. You will attract what you want. You want to start taking action. If you want to be a coach, go coach. If you want to be a podcaster, start your podcast. If you want to be whatever, a singer, go sing. If you want to be an actor, go act. If you want to be a DJ, go DJ. If you want to produce stuff, go produce. Like Jay Shetty said something very profound. Jay Shetty said, there's no limit or no closure on who can be the best podcaster. There's nothing stopping anybody from being the best podcaster. There can never be too many best podcasters in the world. You can have 1,000,000 best podcasters, and there's still room for podcasters. You get the point. So as good as he is, he's saying at the top, there's enough room. There's enough room at the top for everybody. People just scramble and have the crab mentality at the bottom. At the bottom, that's where the crab mentality exists the most. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I've talked about 4 things to discovering your purpose: limitless wishing, wishful imagining, wishful biography, and mentorship. Those 4 process is how you can discover your life's purpose. And I've been talking about the first one, which is limitless wishing, how that works. Do a brief rundown. So how that works is, imagine you had a wand and you could wave that wand and have anything in this world that you wanted. You can wave that wand and have anything that is humanly possible and specific. You can have anything you want. What are the 5 things that you want? Write it down on a sheet of paper. Write it down. So there's some work here. You have to do some work. That's limitless wishing. You had no limit, no limitations. You can have any 5 things you want. Write it down. When you write it down, the next step is wishful imagination. Now you imagine that you had one of the 5 things on your list. You've achieved one. Let's say you want $1 million in your bank account. You see yourself that you already have $1 million. It has happened. What kind of clothes are you wearing now? Where do you live? What kind of house do you live in? What kind of car do you drive? Who are your friends? What kind of restaurant are you eating at? What are your friends saying about you? Do you have new friends, or you have the same friends, but they look at you differently now? They have a different attitude towards you. What kind of sports do you play, or what? What kind of associations do you belong to? What kind of unions are you a part of? What kind of meetings do you attend? What kind of places do you go? So now this is wishful imagining. You repeat this same scenario for all of the 5 things that you wrote down in your wish list. You repeat it. Some of them will automatically, you will feel so comfortable, will affect you a different way. If you practice this exercise on all 5 things that you wrote down, they will have different feelings, different emotions. You will have totally different experience with them. Now, the one that felt the most comfortable, the one that you felt much at home, relaxed, at ease, the one very comfortable, pick that one out and immediately start working on it. You do not have to have a perfect plan. Start working on it. What is the first thing you can do to achieve that? That's what you start working on. Then after wishful imagining, you go into the wishful biography. Wishful biography is like writing an eulogy for your life. Let's say this was 100 years from now. Anybody that's listening to this, that's listening to the sound of my voice, will not be on earth 150 years from now. You would have transitioned to wherever you think you're going to go. We will not be on this universe, on this planet. Our body will not be on earth 150 years from now. Now, imagine this was 150 years and people in that time frame reading your biography. They're reading this biography and they open this biography about you, your name, everything. What do you want people to read about you in that time period? So when people think about or talk about you 150 years from now, what do you want them to say about you? That is your eulogy. Write specific, everything in detail. What you want people to know about you, what schools you attended, what your religious beliefs was, what your passion was, what causes that you were about, who you wanted to help or who you helped, what your achievements was, what you did to help humanity, what kind of contribution you made to humanity. That's your eulogy. You're pretty much writing your eulogy now because that is what you want people to know and say about you when you're not here physically on earth. That's the third part. Now, the fourth part, which is mentors. Mentorship, I'll tell you a quick story. There was a young man that met a fortune teller on the street. This fortune teller told him this man has been a failure all his life. He has failed in everything. He failed every class, had no friends, had no girlfriend because girls would always turn him down. They made fun of him. They laughed at him. One day he runs into this fortune teller. The fortune teller tells him, did you know that you are the reincarnation of Napoleon Bonaparte? You are a great leader. That's who you are. So this man, after hearing this from the fortune teller, bought all the books about Napoleon, watched the movies about Napoleon, watched every video, every book, read every book about Napoleon. He started talking like Napoleon, thinking like Napoleon, acting like Napoleon. He became Napoleon in his mind, in his thinking, in his thought process. This man ended up becoming a great man like Napoleon. He became very great. He became a winner. He became a multi-millionaire He became so rich and wealthy. His fortune in life just changed. One day he runs into this fortune teller. He goes into her and he says, "Thank you very much for telling me about who I am, who my true self is. I'm so grateful and so happy because of you. I'm wealthy, I'm successful, I'm prosperous." The fortune teller laughs and said, "I just said that to take your money. I just said that because you will give me money. You paid me and I just told you that story." Anyways, it was too late because there's no going back. He has already become this great person and he became this wonderful, amazing, rich, successful, prosperous person. So how we think controls how we feel, controls our actions, and our action produces our result. How you think, how the image you create in your mind about yourself is everything that changes everything else in our lives. Thoughts control our feelings. Our feelings control our actions. Our actions produces the result. You can change your thought process by affirmations. Affirmations help you to reprogram your subconscious mind. Once you reprogram your subconscious mind when you're sleeping, it's the easiest part. Play these tapes when you're sleeping. Your subconscious mind will be reprogrammed. Do it consistently over 30 days. I advise or I recommend 30 days because it takes 30 days to change any habit. Anything you do consistently for 30 days, you become. So listen to my affirmations, replay them over and over. I have free affirmations. I have it online. I have it on YouTube. I have it on my website. I have it on Instagram. So listen to affirmations, play them over and over, reprogram your thought process, reprogram your subconscious mind, let it kick in. Once things get into your subconscious, that is the engine that powers your habit on a daily basis. 99% we're existing, living from our subconscious programming. Humans operate 99% from their subconscious programming. Every actions we do consciously is just 1% of who we are. You want things to take effect in the subconscious because that is when it becomes effortless. Things flow, you attract, you don't struggle, you don't chase. Things come to you. Jobs come to you. Work comes to you. Relationships come to you. You have better relationship with your kids. You have better relationship with your mate, with your spouse. You have a better relationship with your coworkers. I cannot begin to tell you how many amazing things, serendipities that has been happening in my life, things that I never even knew were connected. I wasn't even chasing something and they get thrown at me. They come to me. They come nonstop, left, center. It is the law of attraction. It is the law of vibration. It is the law of the universe. Planting, reaping, cause, effect, sowing, reaping, as above, so below, as within, so without. All the laws of the universe. If you don't read about it, if you don't listen to my podcast, join my community, join my close group where I go in depth and talk about this kind of things, where I coach, I teach, and we do affirmations. As a matter of fact, I want to start something, a wake up affirmation call every morning. We can do like a 10 to 15 minute wake up affirmation every day. But you got to be committed to be a part of that group. You got to be committed. You got to be willing. You got to be serious. I don't let anybody into that group because I only let people that are committed and dedicated and motivated. If you want to change any aspect in your life, in your work, in your relationship, in your finances, in your health, and you want to take it to another level, you can join my closed group and we will start with affirmation the proper way. You want to affirm in the present tense and focus on what you want. Keep your mind on what you want. Like I've shared a couple times on this podcast, when you want to lose weight, you don't think about losing weight. You think about your ideal weight. You talk about your ideal weight. You picture yourself in your ideal weight. You use this wishful imagination and wishful imagining. How would your life look like now that you are in your ideal weight? How do people respond to you? How do people approach you? How do people address you? What kind of friends do you have in your ideal weight? What kind of places do you go? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of reception do you get? When it comes to weight loss, there's only two things: nutrition, exercise. Nutrition, exercise. You put that in the right order, you will get to your ideal weight. But what the engine that drives all this, the nutrition and the exercise, is the image of yourself that you have, the mental image. How do you see yourself? There was a research about three groups of people that play basketball. One group was to practice with shooting the basketball into the hoop. The group was not to practice shooting the basketball into the hoop, but practice shooting the basketball into the hoop mentally. Not to practice physically, but practice only mentally, see themselves shooting the basketball. And the third group was to not even think about basketball at all, not to think about basketball. So the three groups: one was to practice, one was to not practice, but only think about practice or practice mentally about basketball. The third one was to not think about basketball at all. So the result at the end of the research, their success rate was the same as the people that did not practice basketball at all physically, but only practice mentally. And the third group, who did not think about basketball at all, did poorly compared to the other two. So the point is, mental rehearsal is as good as physical rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is work to mentally think about what you want all day long. It is work. Like Henry Ford says, thinking is the hardest work there is. That's why so few people do it. If you're ready to change anything in your life, to go to the next step, to make a move, to experience a different result, take action takers. That's who I want in my group. Action, take action. Sign up to my closed group, subscribe, become a member, join my yearly subscription community. And look, I'm not here to just talk about things that I don't know of or that I don't practice. Everything I'm telling you, I practice, I do. I live what I say, and I say what I do. So what I'm saying is, action takers, that's all we need. And share your results, share your testimonies, share your stories. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your wins. Share your wins. DM me. I will greatly appreciate it. Amazing. Okay. Go win today, whatever you end up doing, whatever you decide to do. Go do it. Enhance your perception. This is Ike Banoha. Thank you for joining me. Follow me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All is well.